I put the throat lozenge in my mouth, and shortly after that, I sneezed and it shot like a bullet onto the crotch of her shorts. 9 across. Yes, this is David Sedaris. He's an American humorist, comedian, author, and radio contributor. He made his debut in 1992 when National Public Radio broadcasted his essay, Santaland Diaries. Over winter break, I was able to read one of his most famous non-fiction books, When You're Engulfed in Flames, and it was comprised of multiple essays, all different stories, and although there isn't a central theme, each section gives us a glimpse to his rather complicated and peculiar life. The book allows the reader to see the world in the eyes of Sedaris. One of my favorite stories in this book is called That's Amore. In this chapter, Sedaris and his longtime boyfriend Hugh move into this small, worn-down apartment where they meet their cranky, dare do I say, antique neighbor Helen. In this essay, we get to see this love-hate relationship develop between both Sedaris and Helen. From fights about a sewing machine to rubbing Tiger Balm on her back, it's really funny seeing how their relationship progressed over the years. Such sweet and sinister moments are presented in this section. The bond the two had teaches us the importance of cherishing the people around you, despite the fact that sometimes they can be, as Helen would say, a pain in the ass. My second favorite essay in this book is called The Smoking Section. He starts off the essay with a few anecdotes of when he was a child and how he picked up his habit of smoking because of the people he was surrounded with, specifically his mother. Although he talks about cigarettes almost the entire time, he does share his relationship with marijuana and how he bought weed from this man and his girlfriend living in a trailer home. He doesn't hide the fact that he's addicted to smoking cigarettes and even shares about his stash of cigs in his home in Paris. As any normal person would, Sedaris decided that the only way to cure his addiction was to move to Japan. Here, we see Sedaris assimilate himself into the Japanese culture, even going as far as signing up for Japanese language classes. The moral found in the story is that dedication is the key to achieving something you want. While some may argue that the lessons I portrayed in the two essays were not as significant as other possible lessons like stand up for yourself and to think before you do, the themes I found were essential to understanding each essay as a whole. In That's Amore, although Helen does talk about standing up for yourself when Sedaris was being yelled at by a woman, the entire story revolves around this relationship between Sedaris and Helen. And in the smoking section, although it is important to think before you do something, such as smoking cigarettes, majority of the essay focuses on Sedaris' journey of battling his addiction.
Deathmatch.
In all, the book held many different lessons that I believe are essential for people of my age to listen and learn about. This book connected to me in so many ways, from awkward relationships with people to overthinking situations. I love this book because it was humorous and always kept me on my toes. I felt like a computer, constantly skimming through the text without stopping. I think you should all read When You're Engulfed in Flames because it isn't your typical book. Each section is unique in its own way, which makes reading it a lot more fun. I've never really laughed out loud when reading a book, but this one really made me laugh until I started crying. If you want to read about someone who talks about how he bought a skeleton for his boyfriend, had to deal with a truck driver who was very sensual, and created a whole city for his pet spider, then this is the book for you.